Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of movies that we have not seen based on nothing but their weird descriptions.
I'm Brantley.
And I'm Albert. Brantley is going to kick things off for us. Brantley, what do you got?
First up, we have The Blood Waters of Dr. Z.
Oh, no.
From 1971.
I've seen this one, Brantley.
Moving on.
Thank you, MST3K.
Well, then we have Island of the Fishmen.
This one is, as far as I can remember, new to me.
A.K.A. Island of Mutations, a.k.a. Something's Waiting in the Dark.
You know, that last one doesn't sound like the first two.
I know, right?
It doesn't let you know that there's an island, right?
No.
Like, apparently they did, it was one of those, like, global rollouts in some areas of the globe were like, islands, I don't know about that. And they're like, how do you feel about low light levels? And they're like, oh, great. Sign me up for that.
Except for that Alaskan market didn't do well there. It is the year 1891.
The far-off future of Wait, no.
That's
yes,
the far-off past.
The far-off future of 1891.
And the military doctor, Lieutenant Claude DeBrosse, a survivor of not one, but two shipwrecks. This guy's great.
Yeah, this guy needs to, like, after the first one, like, that's not on him. The second one, maybe you're doing a bad job of picking your transportation.
Yeah, so he washes ashore on a mysterious, uncharted Caribbean island, along with a handful of convicts. So he's not going to have a good time.
Nope.
Off the bat. Unless these are all white-collar criminals, like, hey, we're going to work together to survive. Maybe they'll get our attendance knocked down. He's not going to have a good time. When several of these convicts meet unfortunate ends at the hands of the titular Fishmen, Claude and the other survivors flee into the jungle, only to encounter the sadistic Edmund Rockham and his beautiful captive, Amanda Marvin.
Okay. Do you know what year this came out?
This came out in 1979.
So this was somebody who said, listen, I've seen Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I've got the idea we're going to have more than one creature, and they're going to be in the ocean. How about that, y'all?
It's going to be an island of them. Amanda's father, Professor Ernest Marvin, a once famed biologist, has discovered a way to transform humans into amphibious creatures and controls their every move.
Oh, so this is like, he's making the creature.
Yeah.
In the ocean lagoon.
And controlling them.
So it's like zombies, like classic zombies, but they're fishmen.
Yeah.
And it takes place in 1871?
1891?
Oh, right. Okay.
Very different.
Yes.
I guess, I don't know.
They had invented sliced bread by 1891, hadn't they?
Do you think Betty White was born before 1891? Because she's older than sliced bread.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. Like, not just the concept of slicing it, but pre-sliced bread in stores, she is literally older than it.
Oh, man. I thought it was the Chicago World's Fair in 1900. You're correct. It was 1928.
Yep.
I'm on the Wikipedia page for sliced bread now.
Bringing you epic action.
We can't actually cover Wikipedia, apparently. That might be a different podcast, but you guys can check this out. I do have to mention, for the picture of sliced bread, someone has taken a loaf of sliced bread and placed it in a weird bamboo basket on Wikipedia, which I don't think is how anybody has ever consumed sliced bread. Like, it's in a bag, guys.
Rockham manipulates Marvin into performing the procedure upon both willing and unwilling participants by assuring him that his work is undertaken for purely scientific and humanitarian motives.
You know, yeah, this sounds like 1891.
Marvin hopes to reduce the strain on the world food supply by creating a race of people who can live in the resource-untapped ocean.
Yeah, this, I gotta say, first of all, in 1891, the idea that we were overpopulating the planet, I know that it was out there, but it still seems like, wow, this guy is so far ahead of his time. And secondly, like, his evil villain plan is not to destroy the world, right? Which I think there are people who actually want there to be fewer humans in the world, who think, like, if we all stopped reproducing, it wouldn't be that bad. And yet, when they have a villain in a movie doing that, it's just kind of a lame cardboard cutout motivation.
Yeah.
I've seen at least 2 Mission Impossible movies where that seemed to be the motivation, where they were just like, man, the world, too many people, gonna kill a bunch of them. And Tom Cruise is like, no, I'm gonna stop you. Tom Cruise, hates or loves overpopulation. Wait, which one? I lost. Anyway, train of thought missed. This guy's like,
all I know is that Tom Cruise hates mummies.
he sure did tank their franchise. But no, this guy's like, we're not going to kill anybody. We're just going to turn everybody into fishmen because look how much ocean there is. Everybody will have enough food. There's nothing that anybody could put in the ocean that could permanently damage that ecosystem and live in the digestive tracts of fish forever. So this is a foolproof plan.
I mean, it's 1891. The plastic problem wasn't really as big an issue. I don't think there were islands of plastic yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm with you on that. Yes, okay. That's what I'm saying.
We're still going with the same movie, by the way.
I'm on board.
Because having discovered the lost city of Atlantis beneath the water surrounding the island, however, Rockham is in actuality using the half-human monsters to plunder the lost city of its treasures.
You know, I liked it better when he had a crazy ecological...
No, that's the doctor. Rockham is manipulating him to make him more fish henchmen that he can use to plunder Atlantis.
Okay, so I've lost track of everybody's names. Rockham washed up on this island.
No, that was Ross, Claude D. Ross.
Who found Rockham and the doctor?
He found Rockham and the doctor's daughter in the jungle.
And the doctor was already making these fishmen just on his own?
He's making fishmen to save the world, and then this dude's like, hey, they can rob for me underwater.
Does he have, like, the control panel? I don't know what you would...
They're controlling the fishmen somehow, and he does have the dude's daughter, but is telling him that it's just for scientific means.
I'm confused about everybody's motivations. Like, this guy doesn't need
Rockham
to be...
wants money. That's all he wants.
Right, yes, but the doctor doesn't need to be conned into making fishmen. He already has a good reason.
I mean, I think it's... He's trying to keep him going to make more.
Okay.
So he doesn't know that he's using them to plunder Atlantis. Also, does the doctor not know that Atlantis is just, like, right there? He just happened to pick this island to make fish people on?
It was a wild
coincidence. Or is it, like, lost Atlantean technology he repurposed?
I have to say, I don't know if we're going to get to any of my stuff that I have, but I was looking around, and just through happenstance and IMDb's sort of related movies, I have so many Atlantis-related movies on my list right now. You have no idea.
People are big fans of that.
Yes. We need other sunken cities.
There's the Lost Mu, just spelled M-U. It shows up in a Gamera movie and a Mothra movie, mostly in Japan.
Okay.
And then there's a few others, but mostly it's just Atlantis.
At least Godzilla, though, like over in Japan, they're doing something with Planet X, or and like the rogue planets.
The M Nebula aliens and the black hole aliens, which I don't know what that means.
All of them look like humans with weird hats.
Some of them were monkeys, and the ones from Planet X were actually bug people in human suits who never blinked.
Is that the one where the guy had the toy that made the loud noise? And that was how they won? Godzilla didn't bite people, he just had a toy that made a noise that annoyed them?
I think that was the monkey people. The bug ones were from Final Wars, which was just Godzilla beats up the entire planet.
Godzilla
for 20
is
minutes.
So weird.
It's a dumb series, and I love it. Anyways, back to the movie.
Yes.
Shakira, a voodoo priestess and the employee of Rockham, just has a voodoo priestess.
I've got to say, that actually tracks. Because unless they have some ridiculous... I mean, again, control panels would not be in 1891. You've got maybe some, like, spark generators that you could throw in, like, a Frankenstein movie, but there's no way that you could realistically portray these guys controlling the fishmen unless...
It's with voodoo?
It's with voodoo, right. Magic makes sense. We already established that it's very much like classical zombies, which are created with voodoo.
That's fair.
I'm actually I like this.
Anyways, so Shakira foretells death and destruction descending upon the island. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
Far-reaching planning for global warning in this movie.
No, I think she's just like, you guys are gonna like blow something up. I can tell.
I think it's more like you're making fish people, which I am controlling, but you keep making more, and I can only do so much. Maybe stop. Also, people are showing up that might not be down with turning people into fishmen. The priestess prophecy is fulfilled as the film ends with Claude and Amanda attempting an escape from a gun-wielding Rockham, a crazed Shakira, uncontrolled fishmen in the very volcano that doomed Atlantis, which awakens and threatens to send what unsubmerged landmass remains into oblivion.
Okay.
So everything that could go wrong goes wrong by the end of this movie.
I wonder if anybody gets to keep any gold.
You think it's going to be like the end of the first Brendan Fraser Mummy, where there's like, well, we barely survived. We didn't get much out of it, and it's just like a chest of gold they don't notice as they drive away on a boat.
Oh, I was thinking, like, no, like, the
Sit
good
the camera.
guys, like, have, like, some gold coins in their pockets, which is not anywhere near the scope of the bad guys' haul, but still enough to make
Like,
them
he has, like, some
pretty
fishing
wealthy.
trolleys full of gold, and they get, like, a boat.
Yeah. That's how I think it goes down.
Okay. That
Well-
is obviously the end of that movie.
Well, so I'm curious. I can't. Now that we're thinking about Atlantis, I've got my wires crossed with the new Aquaman movie, which I have not seen, by the way. But like that has Atlantis, and it's inhabited by fish people. Do you think that these fish people are going down there meeting like native Atlantean fish people? And by the way, in the mythology of Aquaman, were the gods like really annoyed that they sank Atlantis and then the Atlanteans learned how to breathe underwater and they're like, the
gods didn't seek Atlantis in Aquaman.
okay.
It was a superpowered sorcerer who just got pissed at Atlantis and just smacked it with a staff and sunk it below the ocean. And they somehow became able to breathe underwater. I'm not really sure on that.
I was going to say, a superpowered sorcerer that can sink an entire city, for the purposes of ancient peoples at least, might as well be a god.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
Up next, we have Amphibian Man from 1961.
You and I are on such similar wavelengths right now. We are going to have
You just loaned me The Shape of Water, and I watched it.
It's good stuff, huh?
It had a bit of an impression, yes. Also, it was surprisingly annoying to find movies with fishmen that weren't like turtles or something. Those are not fish.
Really? I've never seen a Turtle Man movie.
Except
for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Don't write in,
Yes.
please.
It was a short film it's like 20 minutes and it's just like a chase scene between the monster and a woman. It's really dude trying to get a Kickstarter to get the movie going itself. Has really good special effects, but there's like no dialogue, so there's not really plot.
It's just man who is turtle chases woman,
Chases a woman because she got in his area or something.
or he's into her, because it's like every one of these is a ripoff of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I may have filtered some things that took that too far. Not like out of the descriptions, but I filtered movies out.
Oh, okay.
Roger Corman, calm down. Anyways, the story is set in a seaside port in Argentina, largely among a community of pearl fishers. Which, I don't see a lot of movies involving them, so good for that.
Yeah, that's a cool little, I'm going to say a twist, but like you don't see that
I don't even want to say gimmick, but just
a plot element.
Quirk?
Right, like that's a good thing for a writer to do, to bring some element of culture or something to the audience that they haven't heard of, especially if they do it in a way that is accurate. Like they're not just making something up about, the far distant East or whatever.
The protagonist is the adopted son of a doctor/scientist who sometime in the past was forced to save the boy's life by implanting him with shark gills.
Okay.
Yeah?
First of all, I've forgotten the title already.
Amphibian Man.
It,
Which he is not a scientific amphibian, but he is amphibious.
I finished reading Steve Alton's Shark Man.
Yeah.
And I do want to say I'm disappointed that this movie didn't take the title of that and then the idea also off the table for Steve Alton. Because, man, was that not great.
All right. So he has shark gills. Thus, he is able to live underwater, but must
Yes.
keep his secret from the world.
Why?
He's a superhero? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's afraid of getting cut open, but be like, my dad, who's a doctor/scientist. I love the
Slash Mary Kay salesman.
Like, he has a
He's
medical
very
degree,
versatile.
but he doesn't have a doctorate in any scientific field, so he's like, I'm not that kind of doctor. I do have a medical license, but I really am real big into biology.
Also, yeah, no, I don't buy that he has to keep his identity a secret.
It's so dumb.
And he's amphibious, right? He doesn't need to go in the water.
I mean, he's among pearl fishers, so he could do really good at that.
Oh, yeah, okay, good point. Good way to bring it back around. That does make sense.
Right? So the conflict arises from his falling in love with a pearl fisher's beautiful daughter. Why? He can make this dude so much money.
Yeah.
Like, future dad-in-law. See this? I know it's weird, but it was added to me by my dad, who's a doctor/scientist, so I can get all the pearls you want. I can be down there for hours. Days.
It was weird that, like, a very young Kevin Costner showed up in this movie. Like, playing the father/scientist/doctor, holding up his hand like, no, son, you must not save me from the sharks.
I was going more for the fact that he was in Waterworld and had gills in that, but yeah.
Or that. Yes. It really works both ways, doesn't it?
He plays both characters. It's a great double role for him. His secret is discovered, and the girl's stern father attempts to exploit Ichthyandr for his ability. His name is Ichthyandr, by the way.
Okay, that's amazing. Secondly, just no? Like, he can swim away. What are you going to do to him?
But then he won't be able to be with his with the guy's daughter, who he's in love with, because he's a fishman, and they fall in love with the first pretty girl they see. Like, hard, to the point of chasing them to death.
Okay, I was at the beginning there, I was going to say, that's, not that uncommon.
Due to being kept caged underwater, alright, see, now we're getting real bad. His ability to breathe in the open air is affected, and he must now permanently live in the sea, at least for several years.
So, like, this is the reverse Little Mermaid. Like, everything, it's not just gender flipped, it's like the whole plot is reversed. He has legs and a voice.
And then he loses, I mean, he probably can't talk because he can't go and breathe.
Oh, that's a good point.
So he loses his ability to talk.
Then he goes in the water and learns how to talk, but he can't get out of the water.
Although set free, the lovers are permanently separated from each other, which is a downer.
Wait, why? She can swim.
Yeah, but she doesn't have gills.
I
guess his dad could give her gills.
It would only work that one time for some reason.
I mean, maybe he died after some point. It's not mentioned.
There's a mutant shark.
Or he's just like, look, son, it's hard enough keeping you a secret, and you failed after you met one girl. I'm not giving more people lungs.
Is that the end?
Yeah. It just ends
That's
sadly.
so sad. It literally is the reverse Little Mermaid.
Yeah. I mean, not really. Like, the actual story, she doesn't get the dude.
Yeah, that's
Except
true.
in that one, it's just he found someone else and she just dies.
She gives up what is makes her special, and then when it's gone, the guy's not interested anymore. It's sort of a virginity myth, kind of, I think, anyway.
And or don't change yourself to be with someone.
That's
if
also
you want to be a little more optimistic.
And maybe more modern take on it.
Yeah.
Is that it, Brentley?
That's it for that movie.
Okay.
Finally, we have Humanoids from the Deep, which is the one I was most worried about you haven't seen. Have you seen
it? Yes, I have.
Okay.
It's got a great score by one of my favorite composers who also composed The Rocketeer, and whose name I'm blanking on. He also did Ride of the Fire Mares from the Kroll. Daggum! Hold up. James Horner. Yes, one of his very early works. He teamed up and made a pretty memorable score for Humanoids from the Deep, a very bad movie with a decent score from a guy who would go on to do great things.
It is a made-for-TV movie, so
is it really?
Yeah.
I have to say it's not like the. Wait a minute, is it really?
I mean, there's the 1981 and the 1996 one.
I'm talking about the 1981. Are you talking about the 1996 one? Because I can listen to that. I haven't seen that one.
I mean, I had the 81 prepared.
Okay.
I mean, I have the one for 1996, but it's really short, so we can just do this real quick if you want.
I'm just there's a lot of nudity in the 1981, which I don't think would fly on TV at the time, at least not normal TV.
No, the 96 one is the TV movie.
Okay. Yeah, the tagline is, they're not human, but they hunt human women. Not for killing.
Yep.
For mating.
Yep. Because, again, it's a Fishmen movie.
I like how they're they got to that second line, they hunt for human women, they're like, I wonder if we implied enough sexy times here.
I mean, hunting is, they're fish people. They could just be eating if people haven't seen a fish movie before. Or Fishman movie.
Okay.
Anyone who's seen one knows that, there's the sexy times.
What do you think that is?
Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Okay.
Which comes from the Wolfman, which comes from Frankenstein.
No, I know, but so in Creature, it's explicit, but it's not explicit. It's not gross. It's just sort of he's a fish man and
I mean, again, it starts
love.
mostly with the Wolfman, where it's this tragic monster who is also in love with the female lead, and then they just kind of reuse a bit of that for a creature, but he doesn't have the transformation, so it's just the Fishman monster. And then as we go, we try to push the envelope more and more, and becomes more explicit. Same with the gore and the violence, and the cursing.
Fair enough. And then finally we get Shape of Water, which takes all of that and deconstructs it and includes it. And now we basically can't ever have a Fishman movie again because, like, it's reached its peak.
Nah, we can have another one.
Since I've seen Humanoids from the Deep, I will finish us...
And the Blood Waters of Dr. Z.
Yes. I will finish us out with a Fishman movie that was the first one that I picked today, Octaman.
No, see, that's Aquaman.
No.
It's a very famous DC superhero.
No. You're thinking of Dr. Octopus.
Oh.
But this is actually, despite the fact that that is another fish-based character in another universe, that's not who we're talking about either. No, it's Octaman. Octaman.
So it's 8 men?
Yes, it's 8 guys, and then they come together, and all of their powers combined make Captain Planet.
I was thinking more of 8 Man, but that works too.
Who's 8 Man?
8 Man is Japanese RoboCop. Came out before RoboCop.
He's 8 people?
No, he's the 8th robot the scientist that made him made. So he's 8 Man.
I like my idea better, where it's like the reverse multiple man. Where it's like a bunch of people, but they can only have superpowers when they're squished together into one body.
That's how Shazam works in the Flashpoint universe. He's 5 kids, and they have to say Shazam together, and they fuse together into one.
That's awful and amazing. I love it. I'm glad somebody else is on this wavelength with me.
Yeah, that's a dark movie / comic book series.
All right, Octaman. A scientific expedition to a remote fishing village discovers high levels of radiation, as well as a strange mutant-like small octopus that walks on land and has bizarre human-like eyes.
Have these people never seen an octopus?
Well, they don't normally walk on land.
They can easily come on land. They can climb trees, and they have very human-looking eyes.
I didn't say can't. I just don't think that they're as comfortable on land. I could be wrong about that.
They are They are very easy to dry out, so no, but they can easily climb.
The human-like eyes reminds me of a bit from the book Annihilation, and I think it shows up a little bit in the movie too, where the people who go into the shimmer become absorbed by it, they become part of it, so there are dolphins swimming around that have regular human eyes because they were people who just turned into dolphins because of the shimmer and various other things, and that's where my brain goes from that one.
Well, there are no dolphins in the movie.
The leader of the expedition teams up with a circus owner who wants to exploit the weird creature. Standard King Kong plot, but, smaller.
Also showed up in Godzilla the series, and that was interesting.
But trouble ensues when the 2 men discover their crew has been slaughtered, and the mutant is missing. So, either the mutant killed them, or somebody came in, like Jason, decided he wanted a pet octopus, and slaughtered all the crew.
Just picture him bringing it home to his mom, and just staring at it because he can't talk, but it's trying to have the whole, it followed me home, can I keep it conversation? It's just him staring at his mom's head holding an octopus.
And she's just screeching at him, Jason! Get that octopus out of my house right now!
And he just, wanders off sad and kills a teenager.
Is Jason technically a fish man?
No, he's a zombie.
But he lives in the lake. I guess he needs to breathe most of the time.
He doesn't live in the lake. He just keeps getting killed and put back in the lake. He drowned in the lake as a kid, then he was hung in the lake, then he got his face chopped up in a propeller while he was hanging in the lake. And then he just kind of fell in the lake at the end of Freddy vs. Jason.
I think we need to make him an honorary fish man.
And then in Jason X, he falls in the lake as a meteor, but it's a different lake this time.
Oh, man. I never watched to the end of that, but everything, if you just describe that movie to me, it sounds amazing. It's just not watchable by me.
I mean, I first saw it on the Sci-Fi Channel, and if it didn't say the word Jason, it would just be a Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Yeah.
That happened to have a immortal killer man.
Tales from the villagers come to light, describing the local legend of a half-man, half-sea serpent. Which is not an octopus.
No.
But what the expedition finds
it's a mermaid.
is an astounding 7-foot-tall walking octopus that has a lust for human blood.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah, I know. I let that sort of hang there because we've been on a different kick this whole time. Now the hunters have become the hunted, and the race is on. Who will survive, and what will be left of them?
I mean, it's a monster movie, so the male lead, the female lead, maybe the rival, though he's likely to die, and then 1 or 2 secondary characters, and the monster will die and probably be tragic about it.
Yes. I want to point out I'm covering this because the Riff Tracks people are doing a Riff Tracks live of this movie later on in the year, and I definitely will be seeing it. Which is what got me started on my weird Fishman kick, apparently. This was the first one in the chain that took me down the rabbit hole to many, many Fishmen. But that'll be till next time. Because that's all we got for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like this, tell a friend about us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And we'll see you guys next time with more Too Weird Didn't Watch.
Bye, guys.
Bye.